Hi, good morning. I'm Lieutenant Ty Corbin with Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Department. We're at the training academy today. Today, the 141st Recruit School is doing their forcible entry training. So, forcible entry is a tactic that we use to get into structures in the event of homes on fire, or even if there's someone left food on the stove and things of that nature. So we have a couple different ways of actually doing forcible entry into a structure. We have our conventional forcible entry, which is us using our hand tools to actually force the door open over here. So we simulate that with our blue doors here, Halligan bar, and also flat-headed axe. We use little wood pieces on these props to actually simulate different types of doors. So we have inward swinging doors, outward swinging doors. We do wood frame doors as well as steel frame doors. So this is the simulation where they'll be going when we have to respond and get in a quick fashion. We also have two other evolutions that we do for the recruits to get into structures. We have a way of getting into a home when we respond for non-emergency type events where people left food on the stove and they locked themselves out, and as well as if they locked their child inside the home. So using the option of through the lock techniques, we're able to do a slow entry into a home. That way we're not completely destroying the door of the residence, and we're able to relock the home on our way out once we resolve the issue that was occurred. This can also lead to a little bit of a cost, but it's a cheaper cost than us destroying the complete door of the person's home. And the last evolution that we have going on today is the recruits will be using rotary saws to simulate cutting different types of locks. So if we're responding to home with, let's say, roll-up doors, garage doors, things like that, we're able to use the rotary saw to cut through that garage door and give us an opening, an entry point into that structure, as well as responding to different locations where they have locks on the doors or sea containers, things like that. We have to make entry. We use the rotary saw to be able to cut those locks off. So that is the third evolution that they're doing today, as well as learning how to properly check that saw. Because if they don't know how to check and operate that saw, they won't be able to use that saw in an emergency situation. So that is the task that we have going on today for 141st Recruit School's Forcible Entry Training.
Biggest thing about that is having proper mixtures at the start. So that's what we're doing. Introduce fluid into the system and air. You gotta have the right mixture. If you pull it too many times, you flood it. It's not the right mixture. It's too much fluid. It's too rich.
Safety glasses, right? Safety glasses, please. All right, just in case. Take time to learn the tool, and then you can apply the tool to any situation. Like he was talking about, Jim was saying stuff about commands and being methodical. If you go too fast, you skip a step, that's when people can get hurt because swinging an 8-pound hammer, essentially, with that axe, you don't want to be in the wrong spot. So when you're setting your bar, have your hands palms down, because if you change that anatomy, your elbows go up. Now where are my elbows at, right? So you keep your elbows in, they won't get hit. So.
Just stay tight here, because when you're like in the garden apartment, when you're applying this, you're not going to have a lot of space. So this is nice here, because it's a good way to train, but in the reality of it is everything's going to be real tight, and you're not going to have all the movement in one swing. It's going to be really shoulder to shoulder, and you got to be real methodical in what you're doing.
And then going back to the tool, the head of this is going to do the work, right? You're going to get that weight moving, and that's going to cause your impact your force to move this tool. So it doesn't have to be a baseball bat swing. You want to have control over it. You want to have your hands in the proper position. Because if you have your hands choked up here, where I'm trying to hit, then I'm going to miss, and you will miss. You're going to get your fingers. So make sure that when you're hitting, it's nice, steady, controlled swing, and your fingers are not going to be in that impact zone. Right?
This is a fine thing here. Technique comes into play huge in taking the door, but you also need to muscle it through as well. It's good that you have to find that balance. Technique, but when you have to use your mic, you gotta go all in. There's no like ginger or door. Like when you go, you go. So there's that fine line. What we're gonna try to build here is to make sure that you know when to go hard and when to go soft. That's gonna prevent you from getting hurt, and that's gonna make you look way better when you're trying to take the door.
When things start to work, you stop and look at it and go, wow, I'm doing good. You know, it's starting to work. Just let the tool continue to work. So if you're working on a door and you're fortunate and you hear wood start to pop, that's a good thing. You want to continue that motion, right? And finish the tool movement. Don't stop. Depending on how you're utilizing this tool, you have anywhere from 90 to 180 degrees of motion. So utilize all that motion. I guess the rest we'll kind of talk about as we go. You guys want to show them real quick? Just
if you guys come around this side, we'll kind of go through. So we're going to do a combination of wood and bunch today that I had brought up before. So we're just going to use, we're going to do a lot of shit for now. We're going to go in there. So this something where you got to think about what you're doing. Something I want you guys to think about when you actually get to a door is part of the try before you cry is, you check the tip of the lock, and regardless if you're going to kick the door or not, if you just put general pressure on the door, of course it's going to get more because of the bungee. You're going to know how much G you have. So if it's real tight, you know that there's probably deadlock involved or the door. So all you're doing is you're trying, but all you're doing is putting your weight into it. You're not shocking the door, you're not prying right away. All you're doing is you check it, and then you do your heat, and then just lean into the door and press. And then now, okay, so you have a gap here, so now you know what you're working with. If you do this and it doesn't move, it's gonna be, the door's gonna be a lot of work to get open. But if you can press and you get a little bit of a gap and it moves, you're like, okay, this is a good sign. If it doesn't give this away right away, that means you have to make it to this point. It's all about the purchase. Come out on this side of this so you can see what I'm talking about. So if you can look, if you see here, you see the little bit of lip here, right? 2-inch lip. This is pretty much the same on all doors, whether it's going to be wood or steel. But when you lean, if this doesn't move, okay, that tells you one thing. If you lean and then it kind of gives you a little bit like that, okay, now you know. So that's what you're looking for, because this is everything on what we do in Forceful doors. So the first way we're going to do is the straight conventional. So again, walk up the door, check for heat. That's important because if it's a high heat door, then what does that tell you? Immediately, what does that tell you? It's right behind. So you have to start thinking, okay, you got to start thinking, okay, there's heat behind this door. So you come up, you lean into it a little bit, and the first way is the straight conventional heat. So the way they have you doing it, correct me if I'm wrong, is with the fork ends, right? So you got to remember that when you're taking a door, if you get confused, because this will happen, if you don't know which way to go in, if you think about it, when you take this door and you press this way, this is going to push the door into the jam. So it's more than likely, it might work, it might not, it just depends on the door. But if you go the correct way with the bevel towards the door, as you slide, you see how it goes open instead of going this way, where you'll be pitching in the door. The pressure of the door is going to go into the hinges, and you don't want that. When you start, this is how you start. You work in, everything's real tight. Once it's like you're not out here making big space, you might not have a lot of space, and a lot of times you'll be on your knees, depending on how tall you are. So you work your way in, and then more than likely it's going to be at this point, and you're not going to be able to really move anymore, and that's when your partner comes in, and then you're doing your commands. So you go, this is how tight it's going to be, especially when you have your cylinders on and you're breathing air. And because you're on air, you got to be loud. There's no, like you're like hit, and then once it starts clanking, it's going to get real loud. Hit, hit, hit. Okay, so if you look here, this is what you want. You want to be past the door jam. Can you guys see how it's past the door? Sure. This is what you want. Because if you don't go past the door jam, you try to force it, it's going to slip. And once it starts slipping, then you're going to get flusher, and then it starts snowballing, like everything else we do. Once it starts to go, you got to be able to control it and bring it back. So as you go, you can go a little more. Hit. Okay, so at this point, all your forks are in, and you transition, and then now this is where the mic comes in. So this is the finesse part. Finesse, finesse, finesse. Hit, 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 work your way. At this point, there's no finessing this anymore. This is all your mic, and you press hard. So remember, where your hands are matters. I'm not gonna sit here and do anything on the ends of this. Everything's tight. Your elbows should be in. Now you're rocking. When you're rocking, then you go. Start creaking. If you get to a point where this is not working, hitting, and it's not moving, you have to fight the urge to go Incredible Hulk on it. So if it's not working, try something else. Try moving placement of your fork on the door. And that's going to be the reality of how the door is set with the locks. So if you're going real tight here, you can see how much space you have. If you go real tight here, and you're hitting, it's not working, like there's no gap, okay, then you're working right now, it's the power is not there. And then you work your way to the gap. So that's the first round, right? That's straight conventional. So because we're using bungees, you can see how much it gives. When you guys go through it, we'll have wood in there for you, so you can feel how it feels with the wood in there. What's the one after that? Pike. Okay. So that's the alternative technique. And as you can see, the doors are all set up the same way.
I was flipping back and forth to the lane on it, and I was able to see the mechanism inside. He is down like to the brick.
We win this one.